Definitely, it's about 3 minutes past 4 o'clock, and you're either packing up your bags. I know some of you are still in the office, and some of you already hit the road. Well, this is Adamugo 93.1 FM. I'm Sam Olugbemini. I have not hit the road yet. I am in the studio, and again, just like we started yesterday, I'm going to be bringing to you definitely an interesting conversation about politics. Yes, politics, public affairs. That is what we do at 4 o'clock on the follow up Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And you know that, yes, I know because you're about to hit the road. I'm wondering, how has work been today? Are you doing fine? Was it a good day at work? Was it otherwise? Do you need a breather? Yes, I know that you feel like you've had a pretty long day. So, what's next? What's next is just hang on right there, enjoy the conversation, and then you can then decide what you want to do thereafter. I'm Samuel Lugbemine. This afternoon or this evening, the conversation will continue from when it stopped, where it stopped yesterday. Yesterday, we started off a conversation around politics, discussing the status of the Labour Party in Lagos State. Well, this time around, we're switching sides to talk about the APC. Yes, the APC yesterday released its official 2027 primary timetable, and hey, the numbers are extraordinary because you look at the dates, and just beneath the date you have the cost for the forms, yes, the expression of interest forms, as well as the nomination forms. And hey, if you've not seen it, well, let me tell you that the ticket price is in the cost of the ticket is in the picture. The official schedule kicked off yesterday, April 2026, and here are the prices. Now, the price for the presidential ticket is a total of 100 million naira, comprising 30 million naira for the expression of interest form and 70 million naira for the nomination form. For the governorship aspirants, they are going to pay 50 million naira, 10 million for the expression of interest form, and 40 million naira for the nomination form, totaling 50 million naira. Senate aspirants are going to pay a combined 20 million naira. Now, the House of Representatives aspirants would pay 10 million naira. Now, if you want to go and represent your constituency at the State House of Assembly, you have to get at least 6 million naira ready, especially if you want to contest under the All Progressives Congress. Well, the party also provided some bit of concession to female aspirants, young people, and persons with disabilities, and told them that, hey, you're only going to have to pay the full rate for the expression of interest fee plus 50% of the prescribed nomination fees. And well, while all of this is going on, in some states, the battle is the battle of consensus because the APC appears that it is tilting towards the consensus option for most of the tickets across the states. In some states, like Ogun State, a consensus decision has been reached. Well, we expect that to be finalized, but it has been announced by key stakeholders of the party. Where earlier we told you that Solomon Adiola was picked as the consensus choice among stakeholders. Even yesterday, Governor Dakwa Abiodun said according to reports, was also the consensus choice for his senatorial districts. Well, in some other states, it appears that they are building towards a consensus. For instance, we've had some reports in Lagos, we've had reports in Oyo State. Well, it is a bit of a battle in Nasarawa, Kwara, Adamawa, Yobe, Bauchi, and several other states where it is expected that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the national leader of the party, will come in and help to resolve some of these issues. Well, some people have actually also said that it is going to be very difficult to adopt a consensus decision all round, because in some states, some people want to contest by all means, and they feel that it is unfair to them for the party to go with the consensus option. And if you take a look at what is happening in Akwa Ibom, some stakeholders, especially in Ikotekpene, are saying, hey, we don't want a consensus candidate, because if you do so, it would render the party vulnerable to defeat. Well, my guest this evening is somebody who is a politician. He is a stalwart of the All Progressives Congress. He is a two-time member of the Lagos State House of Assembly. He is very well familiar with the in and out of politics. And the big question now is, are we paying to play under the APC, and how this is going to impact politics generally across board? My guest this afternoon is Honorable Paula Omisore. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good to have you join us, Honorable Paula.
Good evening, Nigerians.
Thank you very much for joining us at this time. I think I must get us straight to business. You have 100 million naira for the presidential form, down to about 6 million for this. Well, you have to pardon me there. You have about 100 million for the presidential form, 6 million for the House of Assembly form, and you have, all the other millions in between. Honorable Omisore, when you see these figures, which I believe you must have seen since yesterday, what has been your honest reaction as a party man?
Well, I think the reality of life of politics is that we people forget that those contest for legislative houses are not really going there to represent themselves. They are going there to represent the people. And in the olden days of politics, particularly the First Republic, members pay to be members of political parties. We have membership card in those where you contribute monthly to sustain the party. But when the money back people came, they hijacked the party and made the party to become personal owned party. I think this is getting back very soon to the public. Those who are fixing these figures are not fixing it for one person to go and pay. I remember during my time, I was a CDA, Community Development Association man, and my CDA contributed money to collect funds for me to go and represent my area. So, in essence, if we look at it as 100 million, one person will go and pay, I think it's not the right way to look at it. How will a young man who does not have enough, financial power pay 10 million? The essence is that if people really want to go and represent them, they will support you.
But don't you think that
in terms of a young man who has just left school, who wants to contest, to go and look for 10 million, I think that's not the import of fixing the rate. Secondly, when the amount is so low, you have a multitude of people coming out. Those who are not serious in greater numbers, and only few people that are serious are even being disturbed, and the management of the primaries become very difficult. So there are many reasons for fixing it so high, but I don't want us to see that how can a person get 10 million? People ask you, come and go and represent us. 5, 10 people, 20 people can contribute money and collect form for a populist inclined candidate. So I don't want Nigerians to see that I want to contest for Senate, and we have to go and look for 50 million.
Yeah, but Honorable Omisore,
at least 50 people rich people can come around, contribute money for your form, and you collect the form.
But Honorable Omisore, let's look at it from this perspective, especially for somebody who is running for the State House of Assembly. They need at least 6 million naira just before they buy form, just to buy forms, before they can even pull together a rally before they can even start publishing posters. And then you put that side by side with the minimum wage that is just 70,000 naira. How do you really think that somebody who is populist, but in a community where the person who earns just 70,000 naira, and that is not even sufficient enough for them to survive, would want to give their money or contribute that much to for somebody else's ticket, when they know that that ticket is not a guarantee that they would actually be on the ballot?
If you look at the situation whereby a community wants a particular person to go and represent them, you will discover there will be meetings of people of the community, those who are blessed in the community. Like when I came out in 2007, when I came out, people came out to support me with money. Though the fund was not as expensive, but even relatively at that time, 500,000 was big money. But what I'm trying to say is that the situation whereby one person is trying to get the money, it's not possible. I am telling you that in my own local government now, people are showing signs that they want to support somebody, and they are contributing money to back that person. So in essence, they are returning, it's like returning back power to the people. A rich man who can afford it solely will not be a good representative of the people. We will say, Chebo minimum, I'll spend my money. So what are you talking about? But where the community come out, even out of 50 million, they gave the man 10 million, then it's like they are a stakeholder in getting into the parliament.
But how about the prospects of somebody who doesn't rely on the people, but then decides that I'm going to fund myself and make sure that I get this ticket?
I'm telling you that such people cannot be a good servant of the people. We've been to the house where people that are not known at all in the community become honorable member through their own personal wealth. And when they get there, you can't talk to them. But we are sort of couple, if everybody is involved, and the community can say, out of your 5 million, these are our 500 naira, these are our 200 naira. I think in the long run, the government of the people, by the people, for the people, will be better interpreted when everybody contributes to put you there. Where is a rich man in Abuja just go to his village and has the money to pay, the villagers, can they talk to him? No. So in that sense, I know the economy is very bad. That's why we are talking like this. But if I have 4 million and community adds 1 million to it, I am telling you, they are stakeholders in the power I brought from Abuja.
All right.
Then secondly, the lower the amount for the form, make the fee so unwieldy that those who are not serious will disturb those that can really serve. And management of primaries become very, very difficult.
Yeah, but is that not the essence of a screening committee?
If they say they want to, it's not consensus. They want to go to the field, and you have 50 people in the field for just one seat. How manageable is that? So the party leaders also, they are trying to reduce the number of people that will rush in. It is only those that the community wants, those that can really afford, and those that can really be known that they want to bring out.
So in essence, this is being auctioned off to the highest bidder, and not to.
It's not auctioning.
No, but you just said that to those who can afford, and to communities that can afford it.
Pardon?
I said you just said that this is going to ensure that only those who can afford, or communities that can help to afford it, get people on the ticket.
Who are serious? Because I don't see myself putting 50 million down to become governor. I don't see it. Unless the community contributing money for me, if you call me, if you say the fund for governorship in Osun is 3 million, 2 million, I will collect from you whether I'm serious or not. So the essence of that high figure is to reduce. And I know something about our party, APC. Usually those who do not succeed have their money returned to them to placate them. I've seen that done several times. Several times. All those who lost at primary, sometimes and most times, get their phone returned to them. But you see, there are merits and demerits in everything we do. If the form is cheap, it turns the contestants into hundreds. And believe you me, those who are not serious, will disturb those that are serious. So there are merits and demerits in this question of. So I don't want us to belabor the issue of how much and how high.
All right,
Because,
but
all I know is that I've seen a teacher in my local government. People now are contributing money for his fund. And believe you me, it's already a threat to those who think they have money and they don't have the people. Yoruba say, Omisore. If you have a lot of people and you have a good name in the community, you are a potentially rich man that can afford a form, which other number of stock you cannot afford.
all right. Well, let's look at the other end of the conversation, which is about the underneath the form or underneath the timetable and the cost of the tickets, the prices of the ticket. The party went on to say women, youths, and people with disabilities will only pay half of the nomination fee. Now, if you do the maths, that is 50 million for governorship. So if you're still going to get the form, then you're still going to pay around 25 million naira. Do you think that's a meaningful concession?
Well, it's a question of concession. You can say people with disability that is loved by his community will equally have a way. Whether it should be less or not, I don't want to debate that. But for the fact that concern is given to the people with disability, with women, with youths, I think it's the beginning of good things. It can be less. And that's why the NGOs, civil societies, the media should keep on pressurizing, political parties to look at how much more they can do. But for the fact that they have granted them concession, I think it's a good development.
All right, let's quickly talk a bit about the consensus conversation. It has become a trending thing. In fact, I recall a couple of weeks ago, I stumbled on an article by a member of the APC who said everybody by now should know that it is not exactly a trait of the APC to have primaries. It's either consensus or they find a way to impose. In fact, he specifically referenced the term Baba Sokwe. But let's talk about the consensus mode. It has become the dominant mode for the emergence of candidates. We saw that play out in Ogun State a couple of days ago. Can you explain how exactly a consensus candidate should actually emerge in a political contest?
Well, I've passed through both concepts. I've passed through primary. I've passed through consensus. I became honorable member my first time through primaries, second time through consensus. And when you look at the pros and cons of the two, you discover that we spend so much money during primaries. And the leaders of themselves, they know those who cannot pass through. They know every one of us. They know a bad honorable. They know a good honorable. They know those the community cannot trust. So that's why at times consensus is better. Because at the end of the day, those leaders are the people who will bring the crown to the field. You will spend all your money and you still lose that election. During my first term, I spent so much that I didn't win. I would be either at the hospital or bankrupt. So, consensus is a safer way by saying we have 21 leaders in the local government. All 21 leaders cannot hate a bad man. If you are good, you are good. If you are not good, you are not good. The essence is that say, oh, you are good. Let this one go. Next time you will go. And when that arrangement is there, you must say, when leaders go into it, you discover that even when you go to the field, you get same results. And you have wasted your money. Let me tell you that one of the reasons why the people are not enjoying politicians is that they spend so much at the primary. When they win, the first thing they look for is the money they use for the election. But this method of consensus, you discover that 9 out of 10 times consensus is correct and better.
But don't you also think that you have okay? But maybe before I even ask that question, I like us to deal with the specifics. Should the choice of a consensus candidate simply be decided by leaders of the party, or what are the key figures, or what are the figures or the stakeholders who should decide who a consensus candidate would be?
Let me just tell you the way it works. It is either consensus or primary. Where you say, all of you say no to consensus, you go to primary. So it's not that it must be consensus. Consensus or primary. Where about 10 people are contesting and about 4 is saying no, no go green. It's okay, go to the field. That's why the consensus is done much earlier than the days of the primary. And you know, politics is not if you say no, you go when you get to the field, you get same answer. We know ourselves. In my community now, they know what I can do. They know what I cannot do. We are okay in my constituency now, we are 21 leaders. When we tell somebody you are the one going, you go and wait. If you then say no, I don't go agree. Okay, go to the field. By the time you get to the field, there are hundreds of people that will take your money, and when you come out of the place, they go help you if you win anything. So, for politicians, most of us pass through this. We are beneficiaries of all these consensus. We are beneficiaries of all these primaries. We know it. When politicians complain, it's only because it doesn't favor them this time. It's like me. I benefited. So the day, my third term, when I lost through it, I just went home, to go and sleep because I knew that consensus brought me out at first term. That consensus threw me out at my third term. So politics for the public and those out there, coming into the trade or looking at the trade and making judgments, they should leave politicians alone because those who cry louder today were those who enjoyed it day before. I don't want to mention names. In Ogun State, some people are complaining at a consensus, but the last time they went to I don't want to say Senate or Rep or House, they went through consensus. Some people moaned and cried while they went there happily. So politics is a dangerous game. Those who play it, it's not a church matter, it's not a mosque matter. It's politics, the way you call it. So for those who rejoice when it favors them, they also cry louder when it doesn't favor them. So for the members of the public, what I should just do is that to make sure that anybody that is very good, that can be used for the community, are not so changed. And the way you can fight for them is to stand by them. If you need to contribute couple to bring it to the House of Assembly or Rep, contribute the money and stand by your money. Political leaders also look at the crowd. So people, they look bright and popular on Facebook and social media. Go to their community, they cannot call 3 people to come out there. And they are the loudest on the media, shouting and so change.
Interesting, but let's also look at it from this other angle. Some people have said that consensus is stylish imposition with a pretty nice name. That a governor, because a governor has the structure at some of the ward levels and even at several levels of political affairs, can as well say this is my preferred candidate, and the structure would have to align because they feel that we are bankrolled by the governor, we're put here by the governor, and for so many people they feel that that is just a form of imposition. How do you explain or convince a lot of outsiders that this is not in any way an imposition?
said it before. If you look at Lagos, the former governor, Ambode, he went in on consensus. That types of people cried, we don't agree, we don't agree. Today now, the way it is going now, somebody else is going to enter by consensus. And the same Ambode will now cry, no, why, I don't agree. But that time when he entered, there was no complaint. So you see, politics is a satanic game. It's not a church matter. It favors you the wrong way. When it now disfavors you the wrong way, you cry. I think the life is about turn by turn. If you look at Ogboi State there, you will discover that these leaders are passing patterns to each other. Amosu is a friend to Daniel. Daniel is a friend to Abiodun. You will discover that when they are fighting, you think enemies are fighting. It's a lie. They are passing baton to each other. They only fight and call them certain names when things don't favor them. So for me, if I were those who are not involved in politics, if I'm a member of the public, I'm just looking at politicians as if I'm watching a theater.
So simply, members of the public should simply sit back and enjoy this movie.
Members of the public should participate in politics and find people that are good to represent them and stand by them. You see, if you have a brilliant young man who is very hardworking in the CDA and community, any problem the community has is going to the local council, is going to complain, he went to the ministry. Such persons are really good candidates. Community should come out. They should go to the vote, following for the political party, and it's fairly. We want this man. If he needs money, let's raise money. Support him. Push him there. You know, politicians, they fear the community. When they see community behind you, whatever they are planning before, they will drop it. But when you leave a brilliant young man alone, go and look for 5 million or 6 million, where will he get it? He will go and work until he can afford it. So, this democracy, we should let it work. It used to work in the days of our fathers. Action group, everybody have a card. NCNC, everybody have a card. They pay monthly subscription, contribution. These days, every party is registering anybody. Nobody is a card carrying member. And whereas the constitution is saying card carrying member. Let any party come and tell me that so people, 100,000 people pay 10 naira. So, the democracy, when they were defining at the beginning, it was government of the people, by the people, and for the people. These days, the people are watching. They just fold their hands and looking. Now, I want the NGOs, civil society, to go to the field, to go and educate people. I don't want to use the word of take back their country. So they call it their political party. Go in there. Don't be onlooker. It's not enough to wait on the day of the party voting. But you will only meet those the party have selected at the polling booth. You yourself be a selector. Young man that is brilliant to community that is useful, sponsor him. People should mentor the young ones. These days there are no mentors. You know, people should mentor. You don't need to be a politician to mentor viable young aspirants. So this is the thing that we have to teach ourselves. That there's no way party will lower what they are charging, because they say as assembly 500,000 will come out, and it becomes a problem for them to choose. So parties are not because they need money, but they are looking for ways of reducing the number of people that will come out to a manageable size. So that's what I can just say.
All right.
That the media, the NGOs, the societies should, come out. We are not seeing them on the field again. They are leaving politicians alone to do what they like. They are leaving the public in the dark. The public don't know. Some members of the public don't even know that they can record their honorable that is not doing well. They don't know. We are around the signatures here and there and petition to the house. You can call back an honorable member that can so serve your community well.
All right.
So you don't even need to wait until election to change him.
All right.
So, that's what my submission.
All right, we have a few minutes left, so let's just and there are still other issues to discuss. You're a chieftain within the APC in Lagos State. Although the party has come out to clearly say that no consensus candidate has been decided, But people are reading body language, people are reading the endorsements by certain key officials of the party, and they are interpreting that as this is where the party is going. You're familiar with what I'm saying, Honorable Mishori.
Pardon?
Honorable Mishori, I believe you heard me. I said I believe you're quite familiar with what's going on within the APC in Lagos State as regards the governorship ticket.
Oh, yes, it's in open.
Yes, and I said that even though the party has said officially that it has not endorsed or pronounced anybody, people are interpreting what key officials within the party are saying as this is where it is tilting to. Is that the case?
You see, in politics, rumors strikes. The party has not selected anybody. The option of consensus and primaries is still very much in the open. And when they say consensus, who are those that are going to sit down to pick any of the contestants? That is what the party, they have the definition, they have the list. So if the contestants say no, we don't agree for consensus, then they go to primary. But if you look at that amount that they have to pay, only a madman will see that at consensus, all the leaders are saying no to him or her, and we still go and collect form of 100 million. So the essence of the consensus meeting before primary is to make sure that you know you have the money to waste or to pay.
So I know that at the moment we have about 4 persons within the APC in Lagos State that have indicated interest in the governorship in the governorship ticket.
50 million, have you?
Yes, governorship is 50 million. So technically, at this point, you're implying that we are most likely going to see that number reduce.
Of course, I mean naturally.
And then amongst these same person, and amongst these same persons, they must be thinking that. I said amongst these same persons, they would be thinking at this point that if leaders of the party are saying go and vote for this person, go and vote for this person, then they probably do not stand a chance.
Who am I to say that? Only God. Only God can say that. I mean, up till now, it is very much in the open. But it takes God to know who will come as successful. But I want to correct one thing.
Okay.
Leaders not direct anybody to go and vote for anybody. The leaders themselves are the ones to go and meet. That's the consensus. They are likely to be the ones that will do the voting themselves. You know, in Lagos, we have Governors Advisory Council. They are the top echelon of our party and government. And I know that they are the custodian of the wish of the party. So I'm sure at their level, when they decide, it is a final. But where the decision don't go that way, I'm sure the party will order that they go to the field.
There's been back and forth rumors that the GAC in Lagos has endorsed the Deputy Governor Bafemi Hamzat.
You say rumors. Don't let us. We are adults. We are not on Facebook or social media now. We are on the national media. So I don't discuss. When you say rumors, you already kill the topic. Rumors. I've had rumors this morning,
Okay.
which in the afternoon has turned not to be true. So don't let us. You see, the governorship of Lagos is a serious matter. In fact, I must tell you that apart from the presidency, Lagos governor is second best. You know, the budget of Lagos for 7 years, I mean for 1 year, is equivalent to governorship, 7 years budget of some states. So whoever is going to go there is somebody that everybody must make sure is the right person.
Interesting. Well, I'm having this conversation with Honorable Ipola Omisore, former Lagos State Assembly lawmaker and chieftain of the All Progressives Congress in Lagos State. You can join the conversation. You can reach out via 0805 5888 193. We've got a few minutes to go, but let's see 0805 5888 193. 0805 5888 193. All right. Well, let's continue with the rest of the conversation at this point. We're looking at. We've had a lot of people, or quite a number of governors, who have now moved to the APC, especially in the past 1 year. And the conversation has been about how then do we balance, how then will the party be able to balance, the interest of these persons who have defected to the party, as well as legacy or old-time members of the party. I recall that in a recent conversation with Chief Ola Akpino, who is also a member of your party, he had expressed certain concerns that, see, the party may implode if it continues to allow more people come into the party without clearly defining the interest that has driven them to join the party. As a party man, what are your thoughts on managing the interest of some of these defectors who are even sitting governors of their states, and the interest of those who have been long-term members and have been hoping to perhaps occupy some of the seats or get some of the tickets that some of these governors will now lay hold on?
Well, I pity our party leaders because it requires a lot of experience and crisis management to bring in a governor not a member of our party at the injury time. This injury time, we want to win the match, we want to score goals, and we must do so many things not to demoralize those who have been there. And that's why the leadership, you can see that they've been managing the crisis for long. But a good party man, we know that it is better for his party to win than to fight for a position of power and his party loses. And this is a test for party members. Because the condition is that governors are the party leaders in all states.
Yeah.
If a governor from another party comes in today, he becomes the leader of his leader in that state. So it requires a lot of sacrifice. It requires a lot of crisis management. It requires a lot of maturity. I want to tell you that APC are very groomed when it comes to managing crisis of that nature. So, plus 1 minus 1, we will win more than we will lose in managing the crisis.
You said you would win what?
Like Benue, we are so many top leaders at battling for leadership. But at the end of the day, for those who really belong, we call ourselves progressives. The difference between progressives and other parties is that we know how to endure. We know how to bear with our party. We know how not to say, I no go agree. It's part of the training to learn to stomach your annoyance, to suck your lips, even when you are suffering.
Yeah, but from your own standpoint and perhaps some insight, don't you think that maybe the party might as well just decide that it should begin to review its reward process for some of these people who you say have learned to suffer, or also be patient for a very long time?
It's like you are talking about me. I've suffered for long, and I'm still suffering, and I'm not complaining. You see, a progressive, we remember that one day he enjoyed, and he got undue favors. So any day, what is due to you does not get you. We know that everything don't work all the time. So for me, any progressive that gets annoyed because of winning the elections, there are a lot of things to share again. So for me, I will implore anybody listening to me to know that everything doesn't end with the election.
All
Better
right.
things are coming.
Uh,
But
uh,
if two brothers fight to finish, and after that we come and take the cup. So it's better for brothers to judge or live for each other, and after election we sit down and look at how we compensate each other. And our leaders are very good at that.
All right. In just 1 minute, we receive calls on a daily basis, and the criticism, of the APC administration looks, pretty high when you look at it from the what people say based on some of the feedbacks and the calls and the comments that you get either on Facebook or the calls that we get on shows like this. For a lot of Nigerians out there who are perhaps still angry with the president and the party over the policy decisions that have been taken, what will you say to them to convince them that the APC at any level should still be considered for re-election in 2027?
Well, for Nigerians, I don't need to even tell them. They can see themselves that this is a government that is bold to take tough decisions. It's a government that is not out there to pamper Nigerians and keep them in debt in such a way that even civil servants cannot get their salaries. It's a government that is bold enough to even restructure without coming for restructuring. All those things that used to be not, today is being decentralized without any noise. Other states that have never tasted anything in national structure, today they are enjoying it. If you look at the students, no student is saying, I'm not going to school because my father has no money. So a lot of things are things that are coming up. Our debts are being paid. So I think what we need to really do is the National Orientation Agency of our government should do more. Onilu should do more.
Larry is Onilu.
His own beat in Abuja. In the states, the National Orientation Agency are not talking to the people. So I pray that after this election, even before the election, we need to restructure and let people know that this government is doing so much. If you look at IMF, World Bank, they are rating our country much better than it was before. And when you look at it, the number of youths and women in this government is so many that some of us who are still vibrant old people, they are taking our place.
Right.
And we cannot cry because everybody is saying the youth are the leaders of tomorrow.
All right.
When do you try them? It is now. So I think he has done so much. But I want our party to look at the area of youth again in terms of contesting for election. They should seek amendment to lower the age of those who go to the councillors, council chairmen, even as of assembly. We should lower it down 18.
All right.
And help the young ones.
Okay, we have to go now. Thank you very much, Honorable Ipola Ahmed Omisore, for being a part of the show and for your insights, on all the issues today. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless you, Nigerians.
Yes, thank you. All right, that has been the follow-up with Honorable Ipola Omisore, been taking a look at the cost of the tickets, as released by the APC, what that would mean for some of those who are eyeing elective positions across various levels within the party. And we've also looked at the consensus mode, of deciding who the candidate will be and if that is the right thing to do or not. Well, it is going to be a decision for the party and the party members to take. And we would all see what is definitely going to happen at several levels. Well, I will return tomorrow at 4 p.m. Ensure that you tune in to join me. And you can go back to watch the rest of today's conversation on either Facebook or YouTube at Adam Imogo 93.1 FM. If you want to continue the conversation offline too, you can reach out via 07063 403583 07063403583. Keep listening to Adam Imogo 93.1 FM. Good evening.